pretty cool for an old man, huh? Oh my, I've really got my work cut out for me now.
Here's all my power! Yeah!
Hello, 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 and this is the Real Agent P, and I am coming at you today with the Master Roshi guide. Today we're going to be going over his specials, his supers, his notable normals. There's quite a few of them. His super dash replacement is getting its own section, so don't worry about that. We're also going to be going over his assists, some pros and cons of the character, where I think he should be placed on the team, and just kind of an overall game plan for him. Starting off his special moves, we've got the Wise Warrior, which is quarter circle forward and attack button, obviously light, medium, and back all the way here, heavy, because that, as you can see, goes almost full screen. So the light is 14 frames, it's pretty quick. The medium is 17 to 22, depending on the range of it, and the heavy comes in between 14 and 20, again, depending on which range you hit from. Now, all of these side switch. With the light, you have to spin a bar to get anything off of afterwards. It's just part and parcel of it. Now, if you are in the corner and you do the medium, you can combo off of it after that. Same thing with the but with the heavy, you can combo off anywhere in the screen. I have trouble doing this, so give me a second just to make sure I get this right. There we go. So yeah, you can combo the heavy anywhere off screen, anywhere on the screen. So it's really useful for that. And like I said, this has a crazy wicked range. Not quite full screen, about 3/4. So full screen, we're gonna go about 3/4 full screen. It hits, and if you want this really easy confirm, you can always vanish and such. But the heavy does allow you to confirm anywhere on screen. You just have to be really on top of it. This is mainly combo. You can catch, like I said, you can catch people off guard and really get it going. But this can also be used in the air, so you can use it as movement in the air. So if your back's against the corner, let's flip my back's against the corner, maybe. There we go. So if your back's against the corner, you can use this to get out of the corner. So medium obviously gets you a long ways away, and heavy. Now these are all -5, I believe, on block. We're gonna set the enemy to block just to double check that real quick. Yeah, these are all -5. It doesn't matter, light, medium, heavy, they're all -5, so you can still block afterwards. So that's a nice thing, and like I said, they're really good for movement options in the air. You can get some pretty saucy combos with them in the air. And if I didn't drop that last part, it would have looked cool, but hey, that's how it is when you record and play at the same time. But yeah, this is a pretty decent move. I think it's one of his underrated moves, but like I said, it always side switches, so it can help you get out of the corner, and it's just a good mobility tool too. Now we're going to be talking about his martial spirit, his quarter circle back and attack button. So light, medium, and heavy. The big differences with these are the light and medium versions have frame 4 invincibility, and the EX heavy version has frame 1 invincibility. Light version, you don't get really anything off of. You can go right into super afterwards. If I can do it. There we go. You can go right into super afterwards, or you can vanish to extend your combos. Medium version does cause a wall bounce in the corner, so you can get a little bit of a combo with. And the EX version also causes that wall bounce in the corner, so you can get the combo with afterwards. That's a better looking one. But like I said, the big difference between the medium and the EX is that the heavy version does have frame 1 invulnerability, so you can use this like a true DP. You can also change the timing by like holding it a little bit. So if there's somebody like coming up on you and they're trying to do a jump in, you can just hold it for a little bit and then let it rip. And then go for it. and each one of them have that kind of modular ability to them to be held. Um, this is a really good, really good DP, guys. So it's a very good defensive mechanic. It's got guard point, which is a little bit different than armor. You're still going to basically be taking some damage, but he's just going to be like going through it. So it really doesn't matter if he gets hit or not. As long as the opponent is close enough to him, they are going to get hit. Yeah, it's a really good, really strong mechanic of his. You just kind of play around with it in combos. But yeah, it's basically used as a get-off tool. And like I said, in the corner, you can get a full conversion off of it, and it's really, really nice, guys. The next move we're going to be talking about is his jumping splits, and that is down, down, and the attack buttons. As you can see, the invincibility shows the low attack only. This is a low crushing move, so if your opponent were to do like a 2M, 2L, you know, something that you're going to get the read on that, you're like, okay, I know he's going to do it. Boom. Kick him right in the face. The light attack moves back a little bit and just kind of leaves it standing. So, you know, with certain assists, if I can do it right, you can, you know, get some fun stuff off of it. Haven't played around too much with other assists in this game, but you can get some fun stuff off of it. The medium will cause a sliding knockdown, and you can go right into a super then. The heavy causes a substantial wall bounce, and if you're better than I am, you can get these conversions. There we go, like that. You can get that conversion pretty easily off of it. If you're, you know, slightly better than I do, and it didn't take a couple tries. But like I said, these low crush, and in certain combos, you can get just really fun stuff off of it. Just don't forget this move exists, because this is a very quick move, and we're gonna set the enemy to block here. You can also see it's -5, so it's a very safe move. All versions are -5, so you can always block afterwards. And like I said, the light version kind of moves you back a little bit anyway. So if you're not like point blank, you're still pretty safe. Okay, getting into the moves on the special button, we're going to be first doing this quarter circle forward, and that's a Kamehameha! It is the original Kamehameha. So you can see it's a little bit more refined. It is a single hit beam. So if we take the enemy off the guard here, see this says one hit. A lot of the action is at the beginning here, so you know, obviously to extend combos you gotta vanish, so on and so forth. But you know, it's still a beam. You know, it's pretty good. It's 26 frames, 27 frames full screen. It's 18 frames close up, so it's, you know, as far as the beams go, it's pretty quick. So it's definitely worth remembering he has this, because it is useful. It's a good beam. It covers everything a beam is supposed to cover. All right, his next special button attack is the Thunder Shock Surprise. And that is quarter circle back and the special button. And you have the normal version of this, which goes at that angle, and then you can also angle it up by hitting up or down after you input it, but right before the attack actually comes out. And this is very important for like corner, so you can still snag him out of the corner. Now this is a command grab, so enemy is now set to guard all, and if you're close enough, you can hit them. So this does count as a command grab. And the thing about this is it's always going to dump you out at that range, which is really good for like sparking combos. So if you can hit them with this, you can spark, and then go into your combo from there. So as you can see, that little one that I did was already like 3,000 damage. So even though I messed it up, it's still a good hunk of damage. So a good tip with this is if you have sparking, you're in the corner, you're somewhere where you can hit them, because I think that actually even works mid-screen. Let me double check that real quick for you. Yep, even works works mid-screen. So yeah, if you hit him with that, you can, very easily spark up and take a good hunk of life out of him, because the sparking activation does not hit the enemy, so it doesn't scale it as hard. So yeah, that's a good application for it, is to go into sparking combos and just delete your enemy after that. But otherwise, like I said, it's a good anti-air grab. We're just gonna set the enemy to jump real quick, just so you can see the kind of range it has. So, full screen. Boom. So yeah, this is a very, very good tool in his arsenal, because it will keep people from jumping at you. It'll catch super dash, and it's just overall really good tool in his arsenal. So make sure that you are using this to its full ability. Alright, the last special move that he has, because he's got a ton, guys, is the Lullaby Fist. That is down, down, and special. And he does his very, very sleepy, sleepy little baby.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, he makes you sleepy.
Is that all?
It hits you and it goes. And now I have him set to guard all again, because this is another command grab. So he has an anti-air command grab with his Thundershock Surprise. He's got a grounded command grab with his Lullaby Fist. Now the thing about this is, if you look at the animation of how his hands move, it's kind of similar to the second hit of his auto combo. So you can go like that, and people will think that you're doing the second hit of the auto combo. And of course, you can cancel into it. Now the big downside with this is, after the grab, you do like no damage. Like, that was a full combo conversion. 1960. Now we're gonna do that without the grab. If I can turn the enemy to guard. 36.95. Same combo, just omitted the grab at the beginning of it. And did way more damage. So that is the big downside of this move, is that it scales your damage very, very heavily. But if you're in a situation where you're one tap away from killing and they are just going Goichi on you and just blocking everything that you're throwing at them, it can be worth throwing out. And it does have a decent little range to it. Moving on to his super moves, he has 2 level 1 supers, one of which can be amplified into a level 2, and 1 level 3 super. So we're going to start off with his normal level 1, his Evil Containment Wave. Quarter circle forward and the R1 button, or light and medium if you're playing on something else. So shoots out this beam. It is full screen. It hits, throws him in the jar.
What's wrong?
And it will swap out the character. So as you can see, I didn't touch anything, and it swapped out to hit. If I do it again, and oh, that wasn't what I meant to do. Okay. If I do it again and let it get to this and hold the second assist button, it brings up the second person. Now I held it down too long and brought my own assist out. Hey, that's again me being bad because I'm recording and playing. Alright, but it's a pretty standard super, full screen. It's a little slow, and if it whiffs, he is super punishable. Now, let me go to health bar settings real quick, because I'm going to take Kefla down to where it's going to kill her. Resume. Because this does have a different animation if it kills. So instead of swapping out,
That takes care of that.
he corks the jar and puts you in the jar, and you're sealed away forever. Yeah, and I like memeing that move, because it's kind of just fun to put people in a jar. But it is still a pretty good super. But it's not his best, which I think his best level 1 is what we're going to be getting into next. Alright, and on to his other level 1. It's the Turtle Hermit Extraordinaire, which is quarter circle forward, heavy and special, or R2, depending on however you want to put it. And it does that little spin and away. Now, this is one that you can hold the super button, and it will make it a level 2, goes up, throws this beam, and boom! Into the full power Kamehameha. Now, this has some really interesting applications, which is why I have 2 of the people here. So one of them is being this, because we all know you base Goku mains out there like to know what can combo with a Spirit Bomb. This is very, very easy to combo with a Spirit Bomb. Just level 2 it. Boom. Pure super damage there. Now also, with somebody like Krillin, who has a very fast assist, or it's very fast super, you can do something like this. And you can combo afterwards. As you can see, I did combo afterwards. I'm very terrible about doing it consistently, so we're gonna go with that. But you can combo after the super, and if you have like a C assist or something where you can, really get your supers afterwards, you can just basically keep going, as long as there's not too much hit stun decay or anything with that. So this has some very interesting applications as far as super DHCs, setups, mixing, because as you can see, like Krillin had enough time to get in, and he could very easily set up some kind of mix. Even off of his level 3, it goes for so long, you can set off some really good mix with Krillin. So if you have somebody that has a really fast super, this does allow for some very fun shenanigans on their part. Alright, and his level 3 is the greatest Kamehameha. I mean, you heard it from him right there. It's a pretty standard beam. Leaves you full screen. In the corner, it's pretty good Oki, because, you're right here. So you get some fun stuff in the corner. But as far as full screen goes, it is like, it leaves you full screen. There's not a whole lot you can do. So it's good, but if you have the choice, I would DHC into his level 1 before I would DHC into his level 3, just because of what you can do with it. But if you're going for the kill, obviously, obviously make Roshi buff and tell him that's enough. Alright, now we're going to be getting into his notable normals. He's got a lot, guys, so hang on to your hats for this one. The first one we're going to be talking about is his forward and heavy, or his 6H, and that is this. It's his after image strike. It hits behind. It is a hit. It's not a grab, so you can totally block this. So if we set the enemy to block all, they are going to block. You just have to change your block. Now, with this, as you can see, I tried to do a 2M afterwards. You're not going to connect. But you can connect other heavies into it. You can also vanish, obviously. But you can connect the next notable normal that we're going to be talking about, his Rising Phoenix, into this move. So if you do that, you can do this into 3H, which is down forward heavy, and that does this. Now this is immune to jumping attacks. So if you got somebody that's jumping at you, you can use this instead of a 2H. It doesn't hit him quite as high, and you can totally jump cancel off of it. But like I said, it works in conjunction with this, so you can totally just combo afterwards. Because this does use your smash up. As you can see, the 6H does use your smash, so you do have to have some way of like getting it up there. And yeah, you just kind of go like that. Like I said, this is anti-air, so if you got somebody jumping in, super dashing, this will totally stuff them. You know, getting a cane to the face is going to do that to people. The next one we're going to be talking about is the Turtle Orb, and that is forward and S, or 6S, and that is this. Now, the fun thing with this is, one, it's a Ki Blast, so it can be super dash through, so keep that in mind, but two, if you do the input up again, it boomerangs. And since this is a normal, you can cancel it into other specials. There we go. To combo. Now this is mainly used in like some corner combos and such that I'm not insanely good at. But hey, there is like a loop combo in the corner that uses this. You can also use it with some other like mid-screen combos. It's very much a combo tool. I wouldn't just kind of throw this out in neutral because it is very committal. And you don't get a whole lot for it. So I would definitely just kind of use that for combos and such. But it is kind of fun to just throw out because you can't delay it too long, but you know, you can make them think, I mean, is he gonna boomerang it or not? But you know, like I said, mainly a combo tool. The next one we're gonna be talking about is a move that Roshi's the only one in the game that has anything like this, and that is this 4M, this back kick. So if you're in the air, you can hit back and medium, and it will do this back kick. Now, if you're like really close to an enemy, it does nothing. It's because the hitbox is behind him. You might be thinking, well, what's the use of that? Well, this is. If I set the enemy to guard none, then you can really see what the use of it is. So if you space this right, bam, combos. So you get a nice little easy cross up with him that you can't get with other characters unless you do like a very specific like super dash jump thing. It's really hard to do it with any other characters in their mediums. He just has it to where you can just basically hold back super dash and boom. This is really easy to do. So it's a nice thing that is only Roshi in this game, so it's gonna throw people off if you're jumping out of the corner and you smack them like that. So you know, keep in mind that it is in his kit and it is something that he can definitely do. All right, and the next one we're gonna be talking about is actually not in his list at all, but it's his flip. If you down and special buttons, so 2S, he does this flip, and as you can see, it's immune to Ki Blast. So this is completely immune to Ki Blast. They'll just go right around him like he's not even there, and this is good in the air too. So this is, you know, a good mobility tool. If you're doing something, you're doing a block string, and let's say you end on an unsafe button, what you can flip back and make yourself safe. So, you know, the enemy's just not budging. Boom. You're safe. You know, you're minus 16, but minus 16 from this distance. Nothing's really going to hit you from there. With the odd, maybe there are a couple things that could hit Roshi from there, but for the most part, he's pretty safe. So if you're unsure what to do at the end of a block string, it's always a good idea to end in that. Just so, you know, like that was after his Ki Blast is minus 12. So, you know, it's a very safe move to use, and it's just kind of the get out of dodge button. You know, like you're coming up, boom, they're doing something that looks a little sketchy. Okay, well I wanna get out of here. And like I said, it's immune to Ki Blasts, like completely. Just they go through them. So it's just a good little mobility button more than anything else. All right, and his last notable normal is the Turtle Drop, and this is in air only. This is down in medium or 2M. So this is his elbow drop. Doesn't look like much, but this is his way to end in sliding knockdown. I'm sure you've seen this in this video already. I better drop the combo here. Boom. So the instant sliding knockdown. That is a very easy, very reliable way for him to get sliding knockdown. You're gonna see almost every combo he has end with the 2M to get that sliding knockdown. Just because it's so reliable at what it does. And then of course, you know, after that, go into supers and so and such and such and so. But yeah, you can just do it raw. But it's almost not worth doing raw. Because I don't think that even comboed, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this is definitely your combo, your go-to combo ender. Because like I said, it will always give you a sliding knockdown. Alright, and now we're going to be getting into his super dash replacement. So Roshi is the only character in the game that does not have a super dash. There's a couple things that come with that. One, he can't super jump float. So I'm holding up here, and he's coming down at the same speed. Now he and Majin Buu are just naturally a little bit more floaty anyway, so he doesn't get access to some of the super jump float mixes that other people have. But you know what? I think that his two mechanics, because he gets two for the price of one, make up for it in some interesting ways. So the Masterful Leap, this is his grounded version of Super Dash, has 5 different controls that you can do. If you do it without pressing any directional buttons, which I'm going to turn on the directions here. So if you just hit it, that's what it does. Just goes forward, certain distance, boom, done. Now these are invincible to Ki Blast, as you can see. Ki Blast and throws. So this, again, like his 2S, he's not there. As far as Ki Blasts are concerned, he's not even there. Now this also has a back, or a 4, and it does this short little hop. And as I was showing you earlier, if you do the 4S and the 4M, if you do the 4 jump in the 4M version, it will give you that nice little cross up. Now if you hit 1 or down back, it shoots him way up in the air. And this is good for, again, just kind of getting out of dodge. I know that Lord Knight uses this to tech throws, and you know, if they're dragon rushing or throwing, he's just boom out of there. He can boom, boom, or he can come down on him, or even do a aerial beam. So you know, this is a good just get out of dodge button. And again, if there's certain combos that use this particular one. Now if you hold down, it gives you a slightly shallower angle, but it still gives you a nice jump height. If you hold down forward, it gives you a very large angle. So this is basically super jump here. So he can basically moon jump without having to worry about moon jump. So if you're full screen, that whole concept of what I was doing with the 4 applies. So it's, you know,
Is that all?
it's totally worth it. Learning these movement options, because it gives him a lot more mobility than a lot of other characters have on the ground, and the fact that these just go through Ki Blasts. So if you got someone spamming you, you can just literally walk, just fly up there and hit him in the face. Now the air one is the reverse Kamehameha. So if you don't hit anything, it just shoots you straight forward, and this is how he tags in. So you know, Krillin tags in, he comes in, it doesn't matter where you are. So we're gonna go into Goku. We're gonna super jump up, and he tags in from Goku's position and homes into the enemy. let's do that with Roshi real quick and see what happens.
I guess it's my
He just comes straight in. Roshi just comes flying straight in. Now there are a couple things with this. One, you can angle it. I'm going to set the enemy to block real quick, because there's some fun stuff I'm going to show you here in a second. So you can control this in 6 different ways. So one is this, and then if you hold up, back, so 7, you'll fire the beam down, because you're pointing where Roshi is going. So up 7, or 7 super dash is beam down. 1 super dash in the air is beam up and away from you. 9 super dash is you flying across the screen, beam down away from you. And 3 super dash is you flying down at an angle towards the enemy. Now the reason I had him on block is if you do the 3 super dash into him, you can see I'm +5 when I hit him. So that can lead to all kinds of fun stuff. Because you know you basically have the sparking ability with Roshi to come down and just keep going, keep your pressure up with him. Now this is susceptible to 2H's just like normal, so if you get a little too willy-nilly and you just keep throwing that out, then someone's going to get wise and just kick your face in. So that is going to happen. Now the fun thing with this is you can see he has to block that because the beam is a beam. Like, we're going to set him to not block real quick. And we're going to go backwards. Oh yeah, you can go straight backwards too. And as you can see, beam is a beam. So you can do fun stuff like that. And hit them with the beam. So you can come in and go, no, I don't want to come into you. And actually hit them with that. So, yeah. This has again, it gives them a lot of movement options, and it gives them some good offensive and defensive options. Because one, he can get away from you. So you can fire that straight down and get away from you. There is landing recovery on this though, so you do have to be a little careful. Just make sure you remember the landing recovery. But you can fire it straight up in the air. Get that good like GT Goku Cell air angle. If you're close enough to the ground, you can fire it down. Get the GT angle on the ground. You have the straight air beam. And of course you can just fling yourself at the enemy too, so to go for a combo. There's still a lot to be explored with these movement options, but definitely play around with them. Play around with them in combo structures. Like I said, I found out the whole like 4M, like 4 super dash 4M thing today while I was trying to make this video. And you can just get some really fun stuff off of that because they don't expect you to necessarily hit that quick off of it. So, yeah, it gives them a lot more mobility than other people have, even though he can't super dash like other people can. Alright, so on to his assists. You know, it's season 3. Everybody's got 3 assists, so we're going to talk about them. If you are watching this, you probably know about the big one, but we're going to talk about the other 2 first. So the first one we're going to talk about is his A assist, his Kamehameha. It's a pretty standard beam. It does have a little bit more block stun, a little bit more hit stun than other beams. So as you can see, you know, 34, pretty good. And on block, I believe it's 30. We're gonna check out real quick.
I guess I can score you.
36 on block. So it's a little bit more than a standard beam. Now the neat thing with it is it's one hit, and as you can see, all the hit stops right up top, or right up front. So you get all that hit stop up front. So it actually is very easy to confirm off of if you've hit or not. But it's a one-hit beam. It's kind of slender, and yeah, it's not the reason you're picking this character. So now we're going to change it to the C assist, which is the Turtle Hermit's Fury, or Flurry, sorry. And it's a pretty standard C assist. It just comes in, knocks him around, throws him down. 147 frames of advantage on hit. I think it's got like 50 on block. So it's got, pretty decent on block, but again, this is not the reason you're picking him. You are picking him for Roshi B, the Martial Spirit, and this assist is
Master Roshi!
that is got guard point on it, and the fun thing with it is, if I can hit the timing right here. See how he corrected himself? He will correct to make sure he gets that second hit. If he gets the first hit, he's getting the second hit. And it's armored, so there's that. It's got 80 frames of advantage on hit, so there's that. If you set to guard all, it's got 46 frames of. It's got 46 frames of block stun. That's enough to set up any kind of mixing maneuver. So you can just go crazy with this thing.
Master Roshi!
Same side super dash. Very slow cross ups. You can. The world is your oyster. Like, this assist is pretty much the best assist in the game now. Just because it's so easy to use. It comes out in front of you. It's got that guard point. It's got good range. Like, that second hit from there. Like, if you're point blank, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of mileage off of it. But man, this is a good assist. And if you're playing Roshi, you're probably playing Roshi for the B assist. All right, now for pros and cons on this character. We're gonna start off with the pros. He's very mobile. He's got this. He's got his reverse Kamehameha. He's got these different moves that can get him to different areas. His lariat attack that he's got that can get him anywhere that he needs to go. The 2S that's good on the ground and in the air. He's just got a lot of mobility. The instant transmission.
I'm not impressed.
After image that he has, he's a very mobile character. He's got good damage in better hands than mine. Like, some of his damage is really crazy that he can do. So I mean, let me turn on the damage real quick to show you. That was not a hard combo. 1 bar, 1 assist, and it does 5,600 damage. Over half of their life is gone, and that wasn't even additional meter dumps or anything like that. So, he's got extremely good damage. His Ki Blast, his air Ki Blast, can leave him plus. Obviously on hit, but also on block. So you got +1 there, +7 there. Depends on kind of how late you doing into the drop. So you're +8 right here. they're getting hit. So like, if you do it really high up, then you're going to be minus. So it's very good to do it as low to the ground as possible, because that's where you're going to get your most plus frames. But yeah, his Ki Blast can leave him plus. His falling Ki Blast, I should say, can leave him plus. So he's got that. The reverse Kamehameha, whenever it hits, blocking, it's +5. So he's got 2 aerial ways to make himself plus. His 2S is a great keep away tool. All of his stuff is pretty safe, and you can make it pretty safe. So -5, not great, but if you go You know, you can make it more safe than that. So, but all of his stuff is actually pretty safe, and his combos are pretty saucy. Like honestly, like they are kind of cool. Like in where he's flying around, jumping, you know, shooting extra beams out. You can get basically 2 super dash per normal combo if you can fit that and that into a a combo. And he wholeheartedly has the best assist in the game. Like his B assist is just broken. It is B for broken. So those are what I think his pros are. Now, what are his cons? His cons are he's very hard to play. Like he is very hard to play. At a high level, he's still very hard to play. Like getting used to angling, getting used to doing everything the way you're supposed to do. Like you've seen me where I've tried to do a dash, and I've accidentally done that because I've tapped the super bash button too many times, or you know, whatever. He's just not he's not an easy character to play. He is not beginner friendly. You can't just say someone new to the game and be like, oh, here, play Master Roshi. No, it's because they're gonna miss out on some of the fundamentals of the game that other characters can teach them a lot better than Roshi can. So, not very beginner friendly. He can't do the super dash float like I explained in the replacement section. And his combo structure is a little weird because, you know, like as you've been seeing me do, you can do some really weird like combos with him, especially like in the corner. Oops, messed that one up. So like his combo structure is very weird. He doesn't have a traditional 2H in the air where it like kicks him up. It does kick him away. So it's more like a cooler 2H or a Janemba 2H or Zamasu 2H. You know, it's like I'm kind of used to it, so it didn't bother me at all because I play cooler in Janemba. But you know, if you're not used to a Beerus or cooler Janemba like 2H, then you're gonna get a little thrown off by that. So you know, his combo structure is definitely different, and it's not the most beginner-friendly combo structure. He's just not a beginner-friendly character, but I don't think that we have seen his full potential yet. He's only been played in one offline tournament at the time of recording this video, and that was the Japanese Dragon Ball FighterZ Nationals. So we haven't been able to see offline Roshi, and I do think that this character is better offline than he is online. And I think that in tournaments, like, he could really shine as being a very powerful, very strong character, especially with the assists that he has going for him and everything like that. So where do I think he should be placed in a team? I'm going to say not point, because if you're playing him with Roshi B, and the B assist is so broken that you definitely want that assist. An argument could be made for Anchor because he doesn't need really assists to get good damage. So, I mean, you're going to be doing over 4,000 damage with one bar pretty much regardless of the screen position or anything like that. So he doesn't really need that. You know, he does have that command grab, and he's got that command grab. So the argument could be made that he could be Anchor. But I think he's just really good at mid. Just because of how he functions. He does like to have one assist behind him. You know, something good neutral. You know, beam or something. You know, like base to A, get a little extra damage, or you know, he likes a neutral assist to kind of help shore up any holes that he has, because he's got a couple, but you know, he's overall, I think, a very, very, very good mid. And the reason I say not anchor is because they're just better anchors. You know, Baseku, Broly, Janemba 21, just to name a few that are just very good anchors in the game. TN, name another one. That I don't think he quite gets up there with them, but as far as mids go, I think he is probably one of the best mids that you could have on your team. Now, what is the game plan if you're trying to use Roshi? Well, he's kind of a flexible character, so you know, he's got pressure. He's got pressure. We're gonna set the enemy to guard too. So you know, you can get into block strings. And then, you know, back off. You can play keep away with him really well with his different kinds of super dashes. So you can like super dash in, super dash out, and then back out with the flip. So I mean, there's that. You can keep pressure up. And, you know, command grab, make them guess, so you can mix it. But I mean, he's kind of just a little bit of everything. I wouldn't say, I'd say the best thing he is at controlling these guys. Like, he's got a pretty good 2H. It kind of moves him back, so keeps him a little safe. It's got a pretty good hitbox on it. This move is patently ridiculous. And the fact that you can angle it up, so if you know you're in the corner, then boom, you're good. But it's just he can do a little bit of everything, and the fact that he has such a good assist, you know, if you can keep from playing him, that's probably like, I do remember watching a Lord Knight video, and he said that the best way to play Roshi is to not play Roshi, just because his assist is so good that you don't actually want him on the field. If he's on the field, though, you know, he does have the tools that you can use, so he's not just an assist bot at that point. But anyway, guys, that's what I think of the character. I think he's very good. He's on my secondary team. I am not as good with him as I would hope to be, because I just haven't been able to dump the time into him that really needs to be dumped into him. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding that bell for notifications. And also leave a comment down below. If I missed anything or I misrepresented anything, please tell me down below, so that we can keep this conversation going and everybody learns a little bit. You know, I don't want to be spreading any bad information. I'm 99% sure that everything I'm saying is correct, but if I misspoke in any way, shape, or form, please let me know down below. And if you have any little pieces of tech, also feel free to drop them in the comments down below. You can find me on Twitter at TheRealAgentP1 or Facebook at TheRealAgentP85. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, but most importantly, have a great day.